Hello and welcome to Daily Draw, September 21st. Today's suggestion was she stared at her armor in the museum she wore when she was alive, which is probably the longest suggestion I've gotten so far from the random prompt website I use. But I really like this one. I really liked the concept, you know, that idea. Like I don't believe in ghosts, but the idea of ghosts I think is really cool. And like whenever I do fiction or anything, I always try to have like an arc involving ghosts, because I think ghosts are really cool. And the idea of like a ghost is like looking at their armor or their whatever it is, and it's like, oh man, that was mine. It sucks. It's a sad fucking thing, you know. So yeah, so I actually really liked this draw. This one actually took me a little bit longer, because I did a couple sketches while I wasn't recording. So it was a little bit more informed in the forms and what I wanted to draw than I usually am. So the drawing itself, I don't think this one took a little, well, including the other drawings, maybe about 2 hours, including all the sketches I did. But that's 2 hours at like 7 a.m. So take that for what you will. But I've always liked the idea of like ghosts being attached to things, because you know, it's good for like a narrative. You can have like a ghosts, like a phylactery almost, like it's a lich, you know, like, oh, this painting is attached, the ghost is attached to this painting, like, or something like that. But I always liked that idea. You know, any excuse really to draw armor. And these kinds of complicated drawings are always kind of hard, purely because I use a lot of layers, but I'm not very good at layer management. So there's a point in this draw that I just completely ruin a section of the drawing by accident, and I have to like erase it and redraw it, which is always upsetting. Just because it's always frustrating to have to redraw something, which is an odd mindset to have, because I'm technically an animator, even though I don't really do any animations. I haven't done any recently. Basically, just because I'm lazy. I'm gonna own that one. It's because animation's hard and it takes forever. I, until recently, just didn't have the time for it, but I'm trying to make the time for it. I actually got some stuff storyboarded that I just never put frames to, but yeah. Oh yeah, and here I was going to give the character a spear, but when I went to draw it, I was like, spear, and I changed it. And I cheated doing the shield, which is lovely. People say doing art digitally. I actually had a discussion with a coworker. Doing art digitally is cheating. It's not quote-unquote real art, because there's no like. Because I use the straight line tool to make the straight lines on the case and on the sword to make in the base. I use the straight line tool. Like, well, that doesn't count then, because you cheated, or you do the flip horizontal. you, you use flip horizontal to get symmetry. Like that's not. No, that's the tool. Like why? You know what I used to do for flip horizontal? I would do all of my drawings, and then I'd get to a point where like, oh, I need to flip this. What I would do then is I would trace it on tracing paper with like Sharpie, and then flip it over, photocopy it so you could see through it, you know, and then take that reversed photocopy to a light board, and then trace it in, and then fill in the gaps. That is so much goddamn work for just for symmetry, for perfect symmetry. In Photoshop, you could just click it, flip horizontal, boom, copy paste, fill in the holes. It takes seconds. And people who say that digital art doesn't count as art are idiots. It boils down to anything you put effort into, anything you like. You can put your creative name to, counts as art. I'm one of those folks that like everything is art, but some stuff, like, well, you're not wrong in calling it art, but it's not. People always harp on like modern art. I really hate some modern art, like just the red canvas. It's just a 20, or no, it's more like a 48 by like 26 canvas painted this single shade of red. That's not art. Shut the fuck up. It's not. It's a hard line to tread, because like, especially like movies and whatnot, like it's all art, like, even if it's like super commercialized like the Marvel films, it's all still art. Comic books are all art, films are art. The shitty Sonic OCs on DeviantArt, that's all art. It's all art. So saying that an entire medium of digital production, digital drawing is not art is stupid, and betrays the person who's saying its own ignorance to just how art works. I've digressed. What was I talking about? Oh yes, ghosts. Well, yeah, this draw was actually kind of fun. I actually really did enjoy this one. Primarily because there were a lot of layers, and I got to draw some armor and swords and shields, and I got to draw a ghost, and I got to fiddle with opacities and like glows and things like that. So I really liked this drawing. It's not too often that you get to draw ghosts, so any opportunity, I guess, to draw something out of the norm, because ghosts aren't real. There's no like reference for ghosts, so like what you do, like the Ghostbusters style, like grotesque neon, or do you do like just like a person with a sheet, or you just draw a person, like. Well, there's no like one rule for ghosts, but like for a human, yeah, there's people look a certain way. You can draw a person and go, oh, that's a person. For ghosts, it's not quite so simple, because like, do they have like legs? Are they incorporeal? Can you see through them? Are they aware? So there's a lot of questions you have to answer when you're designing a scene or a character or anything like that. Just purely on stuff like that. Like the character's design has to inform the world as much as the world informs the character's design. So if you design a ghost specifically for a reason, for a thing, then you have to like kind of explain why that ghost is like that, I guess. and it has to fit into the rest of the world that you set up. So if you establish that, oh, ghosts don't have legs, they just kind of like turn into tendrils, like what I did here. So it's like a dress that isn't a thing. But then later on, you have ghosts that have legs and are walking around. You have to form a continuity, a consistent kind of world, I guess, because your characters and the way your characters interact with your world inform the rest of your world. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying keep character design consistent to the world you're in. is what I'm saying, because there are people who don't do that. I'm doing the spotlight now. Ooh. Yeah, I saved a backup there in case I messed up the ghost bit, because I don't see the part where I messed up. Did I? I know I recorded the part that I messed up. Strange. Oh well. Weirder things have happened. I gave her a little glow, just to make her glow. Because ghosts glow sometimes. See? Establishing ghosts glow. And that is the completed drawing. I think it came out really well. If I wanted to spend another hour drawing, I'd probably do a background with other stuff, but these are supposed to just be kind of like quick concept practices and not like full-blown studies. So there you are. There's the completed drawing. Thank you so much for watching. And have a lovely day. Goodbye.